clumsy film introducing new capabilities of Solidal Hybrid, the first ray tracer rasterizer hybrid renderer designed specifically for a new toy world, which will be a worthy successor to Second Life, Minecraft, and their ilk. In this film, we will see a new thing, the cursor, and acquaint ourselves with several possibilities. This is going to be a longer film, and it's going to be somewhat clumsy. I spent 15 minutes or so moving around this world and drawing things, taking blocks away, putting blocks in, so there's something to see. So here's a structure up in the sky that I made out of different kinds of cubes that are different numbers of dice. And of course we have the empty set die as the first one, and the 5 spot is the last one. The points you see, that's a cube-shaped cloud of random OpenGL points. And that's kind of like the cursor. So I can draw a trail of different kinds of cubes at the cursor, but I can also stop drawing and use the cursor to see where I'm going to draw next one. So you can see the points moving where I'm about to draw. I should note something interesting, which is that I use Xmonad as my window manager in Linux to develop with. And this system of mouse and keyboard control works fairly well with Xmonad. However, when I use it with XFCE, it doesn't work well. And the only thing I can conclude is that the different window managers pass along the X11 events to the OpenGL window differently. So it's very likely that I'm going to have to figure something out about that. Okay, so that thing is the same size, the cloud of points that form the cursor. I can move it toward me, in which case the points get farther apart visually, or I move it away from me. But it always stays the same size. Now, instead of drawing a die, it's drawing an empty cube, empty space. And there, see, I just knocked out cubes by drawing an empty cube over them. You'll notice that when I draw a small cube of empty space into a big cube with a starfish on it, the big cube with the starfish on it splits into little cubes with starfishes on them. This is, well, frankly, it took a lot of work. But if you think about it, it kind of has to work that way. Okay, so now I am floating along. I'm moving in the XY plane only. The cursor is below me. I'm looking straight down, and I'm moving. And I'm carving out a trench. In just a minute, we'll be down in that trench. Ah, now I'm punching down. Okay. So I'm moving back. Okay, switch to not drawing anything rather than drawing empty space. Bring the cursor up very close to me so that it's not obscuring my view. Okay. Bit of trouble with the clipping plane. So we go down. Now we're moving that trench that we just carved out. And just demonstrate the dizzying control over size, scale, if indeed those are separate things. In just a minute, I will start drawing little blocks inside this trench. And the little block I'm drawing with is in fact a copy of this whole subcube, large fraction of the world, let's just say. And the interesting thing is that when I draw this little copy, the drawing only takes place at the edges that the rays see. Again, this is a hybrid renderer. It shoots rays to determine what cubes are visible. You see clipping again. Problems there because the camera gets close enough to clip through the polygons for OpenGL. In any case, then you draw with OpenGL. For instance, the cursor is not an object that the rays can see, and it's possible to draw many other objects that the rays can't see. But if we hide cubes that the rays can see inside foliage, whatever that we draw out of OpenGL objects, then the cubes can occlude the background, even though the OpenGL planes, points, lines can't occlude. We see the dice again. So there I've got the empty space again in my cursor. And now I'm going to go toward the wall of starfish blocks, and I'm going to try to make a hole in them. And as you'll see, it's not easy. I bounce off, bounce again, perhaps the block with the painting on it, by the way, that's Dante Gabriel Rossetti's famous painting, Beata Beatrix, which is a monument to his dead wife. And I believe that painting is the inspiration for a line in a David Bowie song. Inspiration have I none, just to touch the flaming dove, off of the great album Ziggy Stardust. But to continue, here we go. So, hopefully you feel a dizzying sense of possibilities. Now, this world is solid. This world has blocks, like Minecraft. Unlike Minecraft, it doesn't use a mesh. It doesn't mesh chunks. It actually looks for visible cubes with a ray tracer. Therefore, it can handle very complicated structures of blocks. In addition, it can also draw arbitrary OpenGL stuff anywhere. It should be obvious that you could mash up Second Life and Minecraft using this sort of technology. You could mash up the kinds of worlds. You could have Second Life like avatars. You could even write an importer that brought in the BVH animation files that Second Life uses. So you could use Gravimator to do animations. However, I'm just one person, and it's as ridiculous to expect me. I mean, look, it's ludicrous to think that one person could exhaust the design space I've opened up here. That would be like expecting Guru to, I don't know, have come up with all the graphic advances in the next 30 years. It's not possible. Thank you and good night.